Hello. You know me as Ruth+hay, the writer. I'm going to change pace for a bit and see how you like it. I'm going to be Ruth+hay, the reader, for a while. And I'm going to start today with a book that it won't surprise you, because if you've read it, you'll know exactly why I'm talking about it. It's called It Starts With Us, or It Ends With Us is the first one. The second one is It Starts With Us. I just saw the movie last night and it's really, really good. This is a book that was on the bestseller list for and it sold 30 million books in 20 different languages. It's been reviewed in 2 different newspapers, the local London Free Press and the Globe and Mail, and both of them approve of Colleen Hoover's prize-winning, a million-seller book. And so it's got to be something special. Now, if you've read it, you know. This is a story that might appear to be one thing, but it quickly determines itself as something entirely different. It's got 2 great stars. Blake Lively takes the main part of Lily Blossom. And we get the beginning of the story where Blake is making changes in her life and we don't quite know why. And Lily goes to Boston to live. And in almost the very first scene, she meets this guy. This guy is also the director of the movie as well as the star. So we're into what looks like a romance, looks like your typical sort of romance story, but if you've read the book, you know it's way more than that. Because Lily seems to be quintessential modern woman with her own ideas, her own place she wants to live. There seems to be some tension with her family, but she's moving away, she's confident. She buys a store, and of course Lily Blossom opens a flower shop. So 1 or 2 funny, fancy things with the woman who walks in the door and becomes her assistant and her great friend and so on. But it's this relationship with Ryle, who she meets right at the beginning, that is the center of the story. Now, I may have to give away a few things about the story to talk about this, but the interesting and serious part of this book, it ends with us. And by the way, that's the last line in the movie. It ends with us, begins with Ryle, being showing his personality. Only he doesn't know that Lily Blossom is sitting on this top of a building looking out at the world. He doesn't know she's there. And we see him behaving in a rather, you would have to say, violent fashion. But he's very suave, he passes it off. And this is the way they continue for quite some time. She resists him, of course she does. She's a modern woman. She doesn't fall for the first guy that looks at her. But time goes on and she becomes sort of entrapped in this wondrous web that he weaves. He's a very important surgeon. You know, he's got everything going for him. He's very persistent. And, you know, most women would fall for him. But time marches on a bit, and more happens, and more happens. And now we begin to wonder, what is this story all about? And you have to make up your own mind about that. But it's not what it seems. And that is the big attraction. It's not just a romance. It's a teaching movie. If you see somebody who behaves in a very violent fashion, it's probably not the first time. It's probably not the last time. And this is what our Lily Blossom has to figure out. Well, this story moves along fast, things happen, and well, I won't tell you the ending, but if you've read it, you know exactly what to expect. I recommend it. In fact, Amazon asks authors to tell the audience, the readers online, what their absolutely favorite book that they couldn't put down is. When I got to that piece on the Amazon site for Ruth+hay, I wrote down this book, It Ends With Us, because I couldn't put it down. and I was thrilled to know that there was a sequel. Trust me, from the queues I have seen in the cinema and the number of times it took me to even get a ticket to see this movie this last weekend, this is going to be a massive hit, and the sequel is pretty much guaranteed. You won't want to miss it because nobody wants to miss it. So that's my first exploration into Ruth the Reader, but I'm going to be surprising you. You may be very, very surprised at my favorites other than this one. Stay tuned. And if you like this idea and you like this video, please make a comment or click like. Let me know. My email address is ruth+hay@gmail.com. Please go to the movies. You'll love it.